Welcome back. Bronx Film 48 is a dynamic community film initiative aiming to foster a thriving community of filmmakers in the Bronx. Now entering its fifth annual event, the Bronx 48-Hour Film Challenge unites talented filmmaking teams from the Bronx and neighborhood areas, challenging them to craft distinctive short films within an exhilarating 48-hour time frame. Joining us now is the co-founder and content manager of Bronx Film 48, Edwin Torres. Edwin, thanks for joining.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So, just to start things off, can you tell us a little bit more about Bronx Film 48, their initiative, and main objectives?
Absolutely. So, Bronxville 48 is a community organization that has the goal of cultivating a robust cinema culture in the Bronx by creating circumstances where either filmmakers get to meet each other and potentially work together.
And so, what inspired the four filmmakers to start the Bronx Film 48 project in 2019?
So I don't want to speak for everybody for the original co-founders, but I think we all noticed that there was a particular lack of a cinema scene, and I definitely noticed that. There's a lot of networking events and stuff like downtown in Manhattan, or even in Brooklyn, but there wasn't really a place, or there wasn't really a scene where filmmakers could meet together in the Bronx, just that are not part of some other program or that are part of a school. Just people, there wasn't really space for people that just wanted to make films to either meet each other or have circumstances to work together. So we wanted to basically have a goal of increasing filmmakers by having this challenge where filmmakers get to make films.
Yeah, definitely. And, to add on to that, can you tell me some of the things that the Bronx Film 48 initiative does to promote the growth of filmmakers in the Bronx?
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, what we do, our favorite things to do are networking events that we do every year at certain locations of the Bronx. And actually, it's really been at one location mostly. But yeah, so that's an event where we bring people together. We have panelists where professional filmmakers and people in the industry get to speak directly to the filmmakers about how they got into the positions they're in. And then also our annual 48-hour film challenge is something where for our kickoff event, that's when teams are formed and then filmmakers, either in actors and other people, can see how they can combine their resources to work together to, let's make a film that can eventually be shown.
Right. And speaking of the 48-hour film challenge, it is coming up this year. So can you explain a little bit more in detail about the overall challenge itself and how it contributes to the growth of filmmakers?
Definitely. So the challenge is open to anyone. It doesn't matter your experience level, whether you've made a bunch of films before, whether you went to school, whether you have expensive cameras, or if you're just starting out and just have a cell phone and just want to tell a story. It's really trying to make it accessible in that way that it doesn't matter what resources you have, anything's fair game. And it just to give people the opportunity and the chance to say, okay, if I participate in this, I can potentially win some prizes and have a film to be shown. So a lot of people, and usually every year, we discovered that it's at least one or two filmmaking teams' first time actually making a film. So it just really a kickoff point to get people started on their journey.
And, to my knowledge, correct me if I'm wrong, but if I remember, the whole challenge is on a Friday, let's say, you have these teams, they're picking a genre out of a hat, they're writing,
right.
They're acting, directing, everything in 48 hours. That is insane. An entire film in 2 days. Can you tell me a little bit sometimes what the reception from participants usually is?
Well, sometimes. So yeah, there's definitely a little bit of level of stress, a little bit of anxiety, just in terms of okay, how are we going to do this? We don't even know what the genre is. We don't even know where we're going to have to go film. So there's definitely, we always see some nervousness at the kickoff event, but then there's also excitement. It's okay, cool, here's the opportunity to try something new. And yeah, sometimes when filmmakers sign up, sometimes they don't get to finish the film, or it might be too challenging, or other things come up. So not everyone comes out with the film, but the people that do come out with films, they get to say, hey, now we have something to show for the screening. Now they can come through and do a Q&A and talk about their experience. And I think people usually, I think they're relieved that it's over, but they're also relieved that, hey, here's a new film that I've created.
Right. And so, can you talk a little bit about why do you think it's essential to have a strong cinema presence here in the Bronx?
Yeah, so I love movies, and I grew up going to Bay Plaza to watch movies, and that was like basically my go-to. And that was really I know there's that one and the one at Concourse Plaza,
Hmm.
so there's not even a lot of places to really even watch movies in the Bronx. And I think it's important because it's a part of culture. It's an art form that's celebrated highly. We have Lincoln Center that has a film program there where
Hmm.
they show all types of films on a big screen, whether it's independent filmmakers or big films. And I think the Bronx deserves to have a place that celebrates that, and also just has people. There are people here who are creative. There are people here who have stories to tell, and this is just one of the many ways that they can tell their stories through this medium.
And Bronx Film 48, you guys, aside from the 48-hour film challenge, you do a lot of different events. I know personally I've been to your networking event, which was, I mean, I was just there to cover it, and it was so beneficial. I walked away with contacts and just overall just such a great experience
Yeah,
from it.
awesome.
So can you tell me a little bit about what impact do you think that this is going to have on the community?
So I think the biggest impact is that more films will be made, and that there, filmmakers that who have participated can tell their other friends about it and say, "Hey, this is a thing that happens." And I think it just and there could be new friendships and new
Hmm.
relationships spawned from that. Maybe a filmmaking team might work together to start a production company, or maybe they might just make a film for fun. It could be just create so many opportunities for people to really just connect and make relationships, either personal or professional, that can help them either through careers or just enrich their lives.
Absolutely. And so, can you tell me a little bit about your background and experience in the film industry and how your experience contributed to Bronx Film 48?
So I was actually a production assistant for a while, throughout actually a year and a half. So basically, I was running around getting coffee. I was like locking up streets, so make sure that people don't get into the shot. And then before that, did go to school for film. I went to School of Visual Arts, graduated 2017, and it was just fun to make films with my friends. And I did help out a friend with the 48-hour film challenge, which is
Hmm.
how I was introduced to the concept, because I think there's an international one. And I just thought it was so cool. It was something that was like tough to do, but it was a lot of fun just to be in the presence of friends and making art. So it's cool to create circumstances where people can bond together and make art, make a film that they can be proud of, or
Yeah.
they can look back on for fond memories.
Yeah, I mean, art brings people together. And with that, I want to ask you, as this year's challenge approaches, and just in general, what hopes do you have for participants?
I hope that participants, I hope that they plan a little bit. I hope that they have confidence to go with the flow of the required elements that they're given, and that, I hope that they can, have fun doing it, not be too stressed, and understand that it's an art form to tell a story, express themselves. And I hope that, they can look back on it and say, wow, I did that. And I made a film that I can watch and show people. So yeah, I hope they get enriched and feel a sense of accomplishment from this.
And as we wrap up, can you just tell me a little bit about how people can get involved in Bronx Film 48?
Absolutely. So if you go to our website at bronxfilm48.com, you can learn more information about us. We accept new volunteers on the team as well, and we always need volunteers for our events. And then, yeah, if you want to participate in the challenge or just like learn more about what we do, you can see videos on YouTube of past films. And yeah, if you ever people want to collaborate or get involved, they can reach us on our email as well at bxfilm48@gmail.com.
This is great. Edwin, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. For more information, you can visit the website at bronxfilm48.com and follow them on social media at bronxfilm48.